Hi everybody, this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and today I am excited to talk with you guys because I feel like there's a little bit of a distance between our last video, and I didn't intend it. I am actually working on a craft room cleanup, and normally my cleanups are moving things to different locations. And so now I am moving some things, but I am actually trying to purge stuff and really keep what I'm going to use. I've already donated a lot of stuff, and then some old things I just got rid of that just weren't really useful to anybody. And instead, let me move these down over here. I got all these piles of books here because I was going to break this up into a couple videos, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Will I be able to get on again? And as the month is ticking along, so I figured I'm going to try to put as much as I can in this. So you should pause, go grab some tea, a nice snack, popcorn, cookies, cake, whatever floats your boat, and then come back and push it again, play, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I read last month in March and what I'm reading for this month in April. I have a little mail that I was going to open with you guys. I just realized I didn't bring scissors, so we'll see how good I am. I'm never good at opening packages, even when they have like the tier lines, like the Amazon has the tier line. It tears like not even a quarter of the way and then rips off, and I'm never good. So I always use scissors. I know that they have that on there, but it's not working for me. So let's start with my mail, because I was going to show you the other one that I got, but I've misplaced it, so I cannot. So I've been living like all the little things I see online with people that have like charms and different things. Here we go. And different things that they're putting on to decorate their Kindle. And so I think this is what this is. Yeah, like I'm hoping it is. Yeah, okay. And so I went online and I was like, let me find something cute. I don't want it to be too distracting, but, something cute. So I found another one that was really adorable. And when I do find it, because it's just misplaced, I will show you this one. But this was from an Etsy store. And I found this one, which is super cute. It's so tiny. This is the other thing I'm learning, is you need to look at the measurements of the size. The other one I really liked. I would have liked it twice the size of it. It's really tiny. This one is tiny, but I can see this one, so I feel like this one is good. So what it is, you take your Kindle and you put it on where you plug it in to charge it. Got it, supposedly. I get paranoid that it's not going to fit mine. It's supposed to. Oh, I can see on my nail. Oh, don't look at my nails. My nails are all dinged up from cleaning in my craft room. Oh boy, this one's having a little trouble going in. Hold on. I don't want to break. You know what? I would just, I don't even know why I got something like this, because for me, other people would be like, oh, it's fine, just plug it in. I'm like, if it breaks my Kindle, then it's done, and I really don't want to replace it. Oh my goodness, it's not going on. And I don't want to spend all the time here trying to plug it in. Maybe I just show it to you and then I'll figure it out later. I might have it upside down. I'm going to show it to you and then I'm going to do it later. But I thought it was cute. This is what it says on it. It says, hello, my name is Book Lover. I don't know if you can see it. I'm hoping it's clear that you can see it. Can you see it? I don't even know. Oh, maybe if I put something dark behind it, you can see it then better, like there. But it's supposed to. When you plug it in here, it will just dangle right there. And so it's cute. It's not too big and obtrusive, but it looks like it's the right size. I thought so. I just think I'm being scared to push down. So I don't want to spend all the time you watching me like, oh, there we go. I got it. I think so. Yeah. So it's like that. Now you should be able to see it. Maybe not, because it's clear and I don't know if it's showing it, but yeah, so it was just cute. I thought it was really cute, That's Belinda, you know. I get caught up in the fads too. So there's that. That's my little happy mail. So for March, wait a minute. Let's peek in here at the list to make sure I'm showing the right books. March, I had a good reading month. I didn't read everything I wanted to read. I'll confess right now. The Anti-Brain Rot Challenge book that I had was Empire of AI by Karen Howe. I just felt like it was just talking, at least as far as I got in it, it was just talking about, it just wasn't interesting. I guess I would rather know more about the AI itself, the policy, the way they're coming up, you know, what were they thinking in terms of the policies and things that they wanted to do. Maybe some of the nefarious stuff, like did they know that this is going to be, that it can be exclusionary and knowingly know that and still condone and try to promote this use of it. I mean, just all sorts of things. So it didn't do any of that, at least in the first part that I started reading. And then I decided, you know what, there's plenty of other brain space that I could use, or I could use in my brain space that I could read. So I DNF'd that one. However, I feel like the fact that I read historical fiction and nonfiction, I pretty much cover books, and I think one of my books will probably be able to meet some of the challenges. I did put in here, yeah, like, so she has different, you know, requirements. So, you know, like, for example, I've already read at least one book from the following genres: literary fiction, historical fiction, fantasy. It goes blah, 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 blah. I've already read the historical fiction this month. And so, boom, you have that there. So even though I didn't read the nonfiction, that was one of the ones that she's reading with her book club, I think I'm still okay. So there's that. And the books that I did read were, let's start with this one, A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant. I don't remember if I mentioned this, you know, in the last one. So if I'm repeating, please bear with me, because I have not looked back at my video to see what I said. But I did complete this one. I did enjoy it. I still stand by that. I feel like I am uncomfortable having so many characters because I don't know who I'm supposed to know. And I know she did in the beginning give you a list of some people here. But there were more than that in here. And I just feel like, I thought that threw me in the beginning. The last part of the book was really good. You know, it got into the meat so you could find out what happened in the story. I found it really interesting. I paired it later with the audio, and I loved to hear the Jamaican accent. So it was really, really a good read. So I did enjoy it, and I would read another one. I do know that Troy Towell said that there's supposed to be another one coming out soon. So yeah, I think I would definitely give her another chance, because now if it's the same characters, then it will be a little easier for me. I think just that for me was just kind of throwing me off a little bit. So then there's that one. So that one was good. I told you this one was phenomenal, a must read. I don't know why I put it down before, but when I look at how she wrote this book and how she intertwined the mothers of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and James Baldwin, it was just fascinating. And this is a great one to read for Women's History Month, because all of these mothers were amazing women in their own right. Even if their sons had not been born, they before them had been doing the work, and it's just remarkable to know. I'll see, I can feel it. To see and read about their lives, you know. As we all know, like, we're shaped by our experiences, we're shaped by our parents, and so it's kind of interesting that it's kind of a long time coming to hear about their mothers. You know, I feel like it's kind of bizarre. So definitely a must read. It was very good. That was an excellent book. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one next. well, right? So I've had this for a little while and I wanted to get to this one. This is Joy Goddess, Alelia Walker, and the Harlem Renaissance by Alelia Bundles. She is the great, maybe, grand of Madame C.J. Walker. I can't remember it, where she is. Oh, did I put the book in here upside down? I went to go look at it and I'm like, wait a minute. So she, you know, first of all, I love that the book was written by somebody in the family. And let me tell you, this book was so well researched. And it read like a story too. Like, you know, you're just following the life of Madame C.J. Walker's daughter. And, you know, it allowed you to have empathy for her, in some areas, because you realize that, there were all these other factors that were playing a part of kind of the decline of the company. You know, nobody knew about the stock market crash, and they couldn't have predicted that. So, you know, it's really it's fascinating how long that they did last with the company and stuff like that. So it was great. But when I say she did research, let me just show you, because I just thought, I'm like, when I saw the book, I was like, this is a big book. This is a big book. But it is a big book. But, okay, from here, this part here, are all her notes, like the bibliography of like all of her, you know, sources that she used. And she has so much pictures in here, and pictures of things and documents that were passed, that she was able to get her hands on. Some were benefactors that had kept things, and she was able to get them. And so it made for a really, really interesting read. And there was a lot of historical things also in here that I wasn't aware of, that, again, which I find fascinating. But I just thought it was a great book. And then what I really liked too, where is it? Is this it? No, I think she had a section, and she kind of tells you a little bit about what happened with, that was about sources. I thought back here, she told you a little more about what happened with, what became of the people who were closest to Alelia Walker. So she has another section in here. And I just thought it was neat, because she went through and she showed their date of birth, you know, year of birth and year that they passed away. And she told you what happened to all of these people. And it was so interesting. I like when books, you take the time to do that. It's like when you watch a movie and it's based on a true story, and then if the movie ends and the credits roll and they don't tell you, like, well, what happened in real life, or even, you know, even better, they show you the picture of the real person, like, that really just does it for me. It seals it. It's like full stop, right? But when you don't do that, you kind of leave the reader hanging. And she didn't. She did a good job of like really giving you more information. I mean, it's almost like, you know, like, hey, I have so much information, I'm just going to spill it all. So it was very impressive. And it was a long time coming for her to actually create this. So I definitely recommend to read. It's a good read. And then last but not least, and I have to tell you the story. So chocolate colored pages. Isn't that what it is? She's another person that I follow online here. She had a giveaway for this book. It was an ARC. I think last year, maybe? Yeah, last year, because it says, yeah. Or maybe it was a little bit before. It was before the book came out. Anyways, so this is Firstborn Girls by Bernice L. McFadden. So I had this. So when I saw that the book club, Dee Dee's book club, Read So Lit, was going to be reading this, I was like, well, I don't even have to buy it because I have the book. You know, I already have it. So I paired this with the audio. And the audio is the final version. And I could hear and hear a few areas where definitely things were changed a little bit, but it wasn't so much distracting that it took away from the story. I was still able to read in the story. But when we went, now this is a whole side note before I get to the book. When we went to book club, this is why I tell you people that you need to join this book club. It's amazing. We have great discussions. She selects great, we select really good books. Dee Dee brings us really great options to choose from. And we meet a lot of the authors. And she came, Bernice L. McFadden came to our book club. And I kid you not, it was so, so good. And I was so embarrassed because at the end, we always take a picture. Dee Dee puts it on Instagram. And here we are. I had to hold up my book. And she's probably, I hope she doesn't see this video because I'm embarrassed. But there's a happy ending. When we got to hold our book up, I'm over here covering. I don't know if you go look at the picture, you'll see I was trying to cover this so people didn't know that I'm using an arc that I didn't buy the book. So I enjoyed this book so much that when I finished it and I read it in the earlier part of the month of March, I immediately got online and didn't even think of the time difference. Dee Dee's in France. I text her through Instagram and sent her a message, and I was like, this book was so good. And I don't even know what time it was. You know, she happened to, she said, beat up, it was late. And so she did respond. But I like this book so much, and I don't do this. This is just not, usually after I read a book, even if I liked it, I don't go get the book, right? If I read it from the library or on my Kindle. But let me tell you, if we can just put this back in and put this into the picture now, I will have the right book. I went out and bought the new book because this is an amazing memoir. I just say read it. I'm just going to say read it. It's definitely hard things in here that she had to go through. So trigger warnings for people, there is some abuse. But it was amazing. Not only did she tell her story, she interspersed with it she gave it historical context by putting in historical information of what was going on in that time period that just grounded the book even more and just solidified this as like a 5-star book. And I don't even want to talk about stars for books, but this was really hands down. We all enjoyed it a lot. And I am now going to go read her fiction books because I own 1 or 2, but I've never read them. So this is the first book that I read of hers, which was her memoir. But what an excellent book. It was there's so many things. What I have to do is go back now. I want to transfer my highlights and my flags to here because I don't mind, me, I don't mind writing in my books. They're mine. But this is going on my shelf. I'm so happy to have it, and I'm so happy that I spent the money to buy it and support an author that I think is amazing. So that was a great read. It was a good start to the month. It kind of like kickstarted everything. Okay. That is March. Now for April, I didn't write them in here yet because I'm a little bit slow. I still have to write a couple more of those reviews in here for March. So I had not put the other ones in, but for March, these are the books that I'm looking to potentially read. Some may or may not happen. We all know that with me. But this one, I am going to tell you, I saw this one. I think I wrote the notes. I saw this. Either this was one I saw on the list, or this was one. I think this is one that I was sitting up one night and I was looking through. No, that's what it was. I was looking for. I found out that you could go into Libby and I could set it to show me what the newer releases are, and I picked kind of like first I did it by just that, and then I started like zeroing in and honing in on genres. But I came across this book and it piqued my interest. It's an author I'm not familiar with. And I was curious about it. And it's called The Quiet Librarian, and it's by Alan Eskins, and he's a national best-selling author of The Life We Bury. This is the cover of it. So let me say, when I choose books, like the first thing that I'm going to tell you, like about this one, is I saw the word librarian. So I love librarians. So I'm like, well, what's this book about? You know, what is it? Why is it called The Quiet Librarian? Whatever. So then I read the description and I was like, I gotta have this. I just feel like I need to have this book and read it. So I went and checked it out of the library. Now I'm gonna read the description to you, and then I'm gonna tell you what I thought about this book, because I finished it already. Yep, I did, this fast. After the murder of her best friend, a librarian's search for answers leads back to her own dark secrets in this heart-pounding tale about a woman transformed by war, family, vengeance, and love. Hannah Babbage is a quiet, middle-aged librarian in Minnesota who wants nothing more than to be left alone. But when a detective arrives with the news that her best friend has been murdered, Hannah knows that something evil has come for her, a dark remnant of the past she and her friend had shared. 30 years before, Hannah was someone else, Nura Divjak, a teenager growing up in the mountains of war-torn Bosnia, until Serbian soldiers arrived to slaughter her entire family before her eyes. The events of that day thrust Nora into the war, leading her to join a band of militia fighters, where she became not only a fierce warrior, but a legend, the deadly Knight Mora. But a shattered final act forced Nora to flee to the United States with a bounty on her head. Now someone is hunting Hannah, and her friend has paid the price, leaving her 8-year-old grandson in Hannah's care. And it goes on a little more. That is a good summary of what this book is about. Now, why was that interesting to me? First of all, I know nothing about the Bosnian War. Nothing. And so, again, this is fiction, but it's, you know, obviously this author did some research about it and found a way to create a story that kind of was his jumping off point, right? And there's so many little facts in here that I just found interesting that he talks about this war. That I love things like that pique my interest. So now I have, after reading this, I want to read more about that war and understand, you know, how it came about and what happened, because some of the things that were talked about here were horrific. And the book is told, it goes back and forth in time and place per chapter. So it'll be in Bosnia, and this one starts in 1977, and then it's present day. I don't know if she says anything. She just calls it Minnesota after everything. And it's always Bosnia, and then it will come to the next one, Minnesota after everything. So you follow her as where she is present day in Minnesota as a librarian. She's very, you know, meek, quiet, you know, on a very, she's almost like a flower, you know, on the wall. You know, you don't really notice her, but you find out like her history as the book progresses, and you just, your heart aches, and you are, it becomes a pulse pounding suspense mystery, all the way to the end. It was really, really good. Because even when I got to probably about here, I was like, how is she going to pull this off? How is he going to pull this off? What is it that she has up her sleeve that I don't know? Or how are we going to do it? But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the ending. And I'm glad I picked it up. It was, you know, I love when I read something that's just not, you know, I buy primarily, it seems to me, female authors. I don't know how that happens, but they're mostly Black authors that I have in my library. And so this is a white male. His name is Alan Eskins. But, you know, I go by the description. I don't go necessarily by the author, and this just sounded interesting to me. And what I love about it is now piqued my interest to learn more about something that happened, quite horrific. Um, and I also like when I read stuff like that. I also like to place the time of, well, where was I at that time, or when they are taking place when I'm here. But what was I doing, or what grade was I in, or how old I was, and I just like to see that. So highly, highly recommend this. I recommended it to my sister. She put it on hold at her library, and I think she's just started it. But it is really a good book. I will check out some of his other books to see. This might just be the one that of his that I actually really gravitated and liked, but it is really good. If you can check it out of your library, it's really, really, really a good one. So I've already got one down for this month, so I'm super excited about that. So that's The Quiet Librarian by Alan Eskins. Then I had heard from somebody, I can't remember, online, that one of the authors that I had bought her debut novel had another book coming out. So I immediately went, did the book nerd thing, went to find where it is so I could pre-order it, because I kind of put her, I only have read one, but I put her in that in the auto buy author list. So I pre-ordered it. No, I'm sorry, I didn't pre-order. Yes. No, I pre-ordered it, but I ordered it I think from Blackwell's. I don't know if I have the receipt. Because I wanted this version. I like the cover of it. I am very picky about the covers too. So this one is called Fireflies in Winter, and it's by Eleanor Shearer. And this is the cover that I love. Look at it, it's so pretty. Can you see it? This is Eleanor Shearer in the back. She is a mixed race writer and the granddaughter of Windrush generation immigrants. She splits her time between London and Ramsgate. Her debut novel, Rivers Sing Me Home, sold in 20 territories. It was named as one of Time Magazine's 100 must-read books of 2023. Blah, 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 blah. That is how the first book. And this is, again, when I bought this one, Rivers Sing Me Home, I wanted specifically this cover because I just could not get enough of it. And this is the cover of that one. This is stunning. So I read this about 2 years ago. It came out 3 years ago, I think. I read it 2 years ago. I don't think I read it the same year. I think it's 2 years. I have to look back at my book journal. But it's definitely, I didn't read it last year. So it's either 2 or 3 years ago. But I feel like I didn't read it right away. I could have. But anyhow, I love this book. Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was so good. And so when I found out she was writing a new one, I was like, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm going to do it. We're going to find out. So if you've read this one, if you haven't, it's excellent. But this one, Fireflies in Winter, is my read for this month. And it is Nova Scotia, 1796. Cora, an orphan newly arrived from Jamaica, has never felt cold like this. In the depths of winter, everyone in her community huddles together in their homes to keep warm. So when she sees a shadow slipping through the trees, Cora thinks her eyes are deceiving her until she creeps out into the moonlight and finds the tracks in the snow. Agnes is in hiding. On the run from her former life, she has learned that it takes to survive alone in the wilderness, but she can afford no mistakes. When she first spies the young woman in the woods, she's afraid. Yet Cora is fearless, and their paths are destined to cross. Deep among the cedars, Cora and Agnes find a fragile place of safety. But when Agnes' path closes in, they are confronted with the dangerous price of freedom and of love. And I'm just curious. I want to see what this is about. I started this. I'm only 20 pages in right now. But it's interesting already. So I'm excited to get to this one and get this one finished this month. So there's that. 2 good books. Then I wanted to do something for, I don't know, I thought it was this month that I forgot what it was called. I think it was Nature Month, or it was something reading about nature. That I thought it was this month. See, this is what happens. I'm sorry, I'm drinking to the whole thing, but my throat is just, that's all, it's awful. It's a really bad pollen right now. But anyhow, I don't know if that is this month, but I'm making it this month, or it is not. And I saw this book online the same day I saw The Quiet Librarian. When I was peeking through on books, I saw this on Kindle, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to read that." And I couldn't get it on Kindle; it was on hold, so I put it on hold at the library so I can get it faster. And it's called "Becoming Earth: How Our Planet Came to Life" by Ferris Job. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Jabr Job. And this one sounded so good to me. It says, "Welcome to the living earth. You'll never see it the same way again. One of humanity's oldest beliefs is that our world is alive. Though once ridiculed by some scientists, the idea of Earth as a vast, interconnected living system has gained acceptance in recent decades. We and all living things are more than inhabitants of Earth. We are Earth, an outgrowth of its structure and the engine of its evolution. Life and its environment have co-evolved for billions of years, transforming a lump of orbit rock into cosmic oasis, a planet that breathes, metabolizes, regulates its climate." And it goes on. I did read some reviews that said that there were people that liked it, and some people said that they felt like he was a climate alarmist. And I started reading this. I'm still in the introduction. I can understand where they're coming from when they're saying about the alarmist. But me personally, I have no problem receiving information that one would quantify or qualify as alarmist, because I feel like even if you think we aren't at that stage where we should be alarmed, you should not wait till you get to that stage to do something. So, having said that, I want all the information I can get. So I think he talks about how, very interesting things, I thought, of how our interaction with the earth and other beings interaction on the earth create the environment that we need to sustain ourselves. And I just was fascinated. I love watching National Geographic shows. I love watching Animal Planet stuff. And so this just seemed like something that would be natural for me to want to read. And I think he breaks them down into different chapters about, let me see if I can see but I thought this sounded really good. I will definitely come back to you with some real information. So the chapters, he breaks them down into sections, and the section is rock, water, air, the three sections, and there's 3 chapters under each one. So I just think it's gonna be great. And then he has a fabulous quote in the front. So that also tells me, when you blurb, where is it? Where is it? Okay, so listen to this one. "Consider, whether you're a human being, an insect, a microbe, or a stone, this verse is true. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you." That's from Octavia Butler's The Parable of the Sower. And then it says, "What if we understood that the heartbeats of all creatures can be heard in our own heartbeats? That this drumming is an echo of the earth's pulse, which runs through all of our veins, plants and animals included." And that's Terry Tempest Williams, Take Place, the Paris Review. And then the last one is "Earth is one country. We are all waves of the same sea, leaves of the same tree, flowers of the same garden." And that's a message of fraternity, likely paraphrased from the writings of Bahá'í, prophet, founder of the Baha'i faith, and his son Abdul Baha. I'm sorry, I probably pronounced it wrong, but I just love those. I just love the quotes that he just led with. So I'm like, yeah, I'm so ready for this. And this is a picture of him back there. So that's my book I'm gonna read. My final book that I want to read this month, and I'm going to read this month, is my book club for Read to Lit. Our book club selection is Langston Hughes' Not Without Laughter. And I had to get this cover. This is the cover I wanted. I know there's other ones that are more old and they look whatever. I love this because I love when you use the negative space to create an image. And you'll see what I'm saying when I show it to you. Isn't that fabulous? So can you see the guy in the glasses that's playing the trumpet or the trombone. It's really great. So I loved it. I was like, I gotta have that one. I love the wacky colors all together, the bright. I love the feel of this one. I'm so excited to read this one. I am going to try to start it next week because I don't want to be in the situation I was with last book club, because I love that book so much, but I read it in the beginning of the month that I was starting to forget things. So I'm hoping this will be a fast read, and I'm going to start it next week, and then I'll have that until the end to do this. And I think this one, it says originally published in 1930, Not Without Laughter is the award-winning debut novel of literary giant Langston Hughes. So this was his debut novel. Didn't know that. Already an accomplished poet and prominent figure of the Harlem Renaissance, Hughes cemented himself as one of the most versatile and talented authors in modern literature with the publication of this poignant work. Not Without Laughter follows Sandy Rogers, a black boy coming of age in rural Kansas while facing the harsh realities of poverty, racial segregation, and the onset of World War I. Orbiting Sandy are a host of vividly realized family members who each play a vital role in his journey of self-actualization, including his mother, Angie, a domestic worker, his semi-absent father, Jim Boy, his aunts, blues singer Aunt Harriet, and social climber Aunt Tempe, and his pious grandmother, Hagar, who holds the generations together. A personal and semi-autobiographical depiction of Langston Hughes' early life in the Midwest, Not Without Laughter, is a sweeping portrait of race in America after the failure of the Reconstruction era, from a writer praised as a titanic figure in the 20th century American literature. I mean, this sounds so good. I mean, I think that we have just been striking gold in book club, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back with good response to this one. So those are the books that I'm thinking for this month. I've already started 2 of them. Actually, I started 3. I did a little, like I said, I read the intro. I started reading the intro in this one. I'm about a chapter in. I've completed that one. So I'm doing pretty good for this month. So we will see when I come back to you. I'll give you an update on where I am with that. I also have some books that I wanted to talk to you about that I had bought, but I don't want to put that in the studio because I know this, when I turn the camera and go look to see how much time, I took up a lot of time. So thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me talk. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you're going to read any of these, if you think that they sound interesting to you. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.